So, I shot this for the first time. Hello epic people, Mike here, and today I'm going to be talking about my first experience with shooting a manual film camera. And I want to share my first roll of film, what I actually got. Going back, I had this Nikon FE for I think 4 years now. My father-in-law actually gave it to me when I was visiting Korea like 4 years ago. He actually purchased this back in 1986-ish at Japan, but he barely used it. So when I first got it in my hand, everything looked brand new. But I didn't really think about shooting film camera because obviously I have the modern Sony and Fuji cameras. But recently, it seems like a lot of people are shooting film. Maybe they were, I'm just noticing it now, and I also started enjoying shooting my Fuji camera more often compared to my Sony because it feels a little bit more different. The colors feel a little bit more organic, filmic, because it has film simulation. So I enjoyed doing that, but I never thought about shooting with an actual film camera because first of all, you know, it costs a lot of money buying film and developing it. And then it takes time, and obviously it is not as fast as shooting with, you know, the modern digital cameras. And one day I went into Sammy's to check out new gears for my modern mirrorless cameras, and I met this gentleman, I forgot his name, who works there that shoot film also. He was talking about how I should try it, it's so much different, and I kept giving excuses why I didn't, and then he just cut me off. Stop whining like a baby and just go out and try shooting it. So that day, before I came out, I bought the cheapest film, which was, I believe, Fuji 200 that has 36 shots in it. So I brought that home and I started studying a little bit how to shoot manual, film cameras because I'm not a type of person who would do just trial and error. And I know film is not cheap, so I try to learn it as much as I can before I started shooting. Yes, I know how to expose all the scene and stuff, but it's really hard because nothing is digital. You have to work with a light meter and focus is manual and all that. So I loaded the film and I started shooting. First thing I realized when I started shooting is every shot that I took longer, and every shot that I took, I try to dial in everything more precise, and it was a very nervous feeling. I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but because when you shoot, you won't be able to see what you got. But I didn't want it to shoot multiple times at the same thing, so I tried my best to get it perfectly done and shoot. And it took a while for me to finish the one roll of film. It took me around a month and a half to actually finish the 36 shot. And this is mostly because I didn't want it to be going around just shooting random things, because I thought it would be a little bit more meaningful to shoot something that I want to see all the time. So most of the pictures that you're gonna see is like my family photo and my friends and stuff like that. So after a month and a half, I went to Sammy's again, sent it in to develop those films. And as you can see, this is the preview of my whole roll. Out of 36 shots, 8 of them were blank. And I don't know if that's a good rate for the first time shooter, but I don't know if I accidentally wind it one more time or whatever, but 24 shots out of 36, they were good. I enjoyed the colors. I think colors are still a personal preference, so I'm not going to be giving that much of an opinion on that. But it felt very different compared to the digital photo that I usually shoot. It was more of a, when I got it, it was final. It's like I have to come to a conclusion, yes, this is going to be a final and I like it and this is how it's going to be. Even though, yes, you can edit your digital stuff, but it's just, you keep it as is. I think that was something that was more special. And one of the biggest thing I learned after shooting a roll of film on a manual camera, I know it's his only first time trying, but immediately I started appreciating my modern cameras way more than before, compared to, when I compared shooting with this and that. It's way more easier shooting with digital camera. A lot of people might hate me for saying this, but I believe that modern day camera is so advanced that it does a lot of work for you compared to the older film cameras. And while shooting this, I learned a lot. I learned how to change settings quickly, and then I don't really always have to shoot wide open at 1.4. It was a totally different experience. So am I going to recommend people to go shoot film because it's so great? No. But I do recommend, if you're a photographer with a digital camera, I think you should at least try it once to have a feel of how it was in the past, how people actually use the manual camera. I think if you do, you'll appreciate your gear way more and you'll learn a lot, and I think your shots will get better. It's like basically practicing your camera skill in depth. So am I going to start shooting film more regularly? The answer is no, because as of today, I think it's March 1st, they started increasing the film prices again. And I can't really afford all these films, but I will probably shoot at least one roll a month and just share what I got, because I do really enjoy shooting film. Hopefully I'll be able to get better. So that's it for me today. Hopefully you guys liked my video. If you guys did, please give me a like. If you guys want to see more camera related content in the future, please subscribe and hit that notification button. And until then, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.